Shalom. This week's Sedra is Sedrat Netzavim. I'd like to tell you a story about Chezi. Chezi is somebody that lives here with me in beautiful Mitzvah, Yericho. Nothing made Chezi happier than the time he spent studying Torah with his son. His son's name was Yaakov, affectionately called Kovi, and he loved to hear stories of the Chumash. Whether it was Adam, Noach, the Avos, the forefathers, or Moshe, Kovi loved listening as his father regaled him with stories of the Chumash. Chezi lived here in Mitzvah Yericho, and he and Kovi would go out to the many overlooks with their Chumashim to study together. On the day that our story took place, Chezi and Kovi studied this week's Torah portion, while overlooking the actual mountains discussed in the Torah. Chezi read the opening of the Sedra, where God offers Bnei Israel a new covenant before they enter the land of Israel. Moshe tells them, and pardon me for reading, I want to get it perfect, "You are all standing this day before the Lord your God, everyone, including the leaders of your tribes, your elders and your officers, and every Jewish man. Why? To enter the covenant of the Lord your God, and his oath, which God is making with you this day, in order to establish you as his people today, and that he will be your God, as he spoke to you, and as he spoke to the forefathers, to Avram, to Yitzchak, and to Yaakov." Chezi pointed out the mountains across from where they were sitting. The mountains exactly across from where I'm standing. What is today's Jordan, he told his son, was where Moshe stood and told the Jewish people that he was bringing them into a new covenant with Hashem. Throughout the Torah, Bnei Israel had entered into multiple covenants with God, and Chezi asked his son if he knew what made this covenant so unique. Chezi read Rashi's commentary on this pasuk with Kovi. Rashi wrote, because the Jews were now passing from one leader to the next, from the leadership of Moshe to that of Yehoshua, Moshe made them stand in order to encourage them and bring them to a new covenant. Yehoshua did the same when he was about to die, and also Shmuel, likewise, when he was passing his leadership on to Shaul, a new king. Why did the Jewish people need encouragement whenever there was a transfer of leadership, Kovi asked his father? Well, Chezi explained that the Jewish people are people who both enjoy an independent relationship with God and don't need an intermediary to connect with God, while at the same time, the Jewish people can pray on their own. They don't need the help of anyone else. But at the same time, Jewish tradition is passed on by scholars of the previous generation. We, the average person, need people who can teach the next generation to connect to Hashem. When a leader dies, Jews become nervous about who will teach their next generations. Therefore, before they die, a Jewish leader stands up and encourages the Jewish people, telling them that all will be well and all will be fine. Nowhere was this more true than with Moshe Rabbeinu. When Moshe died, he was the ultimate teacher, and the Jewish people felt without him, who was ever going to be able to stand in his place? Well, mere encouragement from Moshe wouldn't do the trick. He needed to bring the Jewish people into a new covenant with God. And that's why this week, Moshe Rabbeinu brings them in a unique new covenant, not just merely offering words of encouragement like Yehoshua and Shmuel did, but rather bringing them into a whole new covenant in order to show them that everything was going to be okay with the transfer of power. Shabbat Shalom.